more can I say?
Top Billin.
Yo, Top Billin. Man, when was the last time we saw the blue blood of all blue bloods on the market for a coaching hire, a head coaching hire at that? That would be maybe 20-something years ago. You mean to tell me the damn Oklahoma Sooners has a head coaching vacancy? Remember, they had that succession plan from the great Bob Stoops to Lincoln Riley. So in a lot of you people's lifetime that frequent this channel, since I've seen the statistics here, remember, top billings for people 25 and over, so we can have people with a little bit more seasoning and a little bit more history. But obviously I can't stop that. So for all you people under that age, a lot of you people have not seen an actual market that had Oklahoma in it. To me, that's crazy. Oklahoma is a damn animal. You have to like everything about Oklahoma, whether it be the history, the recent history, the style of football. Everything about Oklahoma just screams national champion juggernaut, except the defense. So the reports out there talking about Cliff Kingsbury makes me chuckle like a name buckle. Why? Why would you go out and get Cliff Kingsbury when you have a guy like Brent Venables sitting right there at Clemson like somebody's uncle? Brent Venables, Clemson defensive coordinator, reminds me of that dude from, was it Home Improvement? Oh, Step by Step. You remember that dude that was sitting in the car? He was like the uncle or something like that. He would never leave the nest. He's like that dude. Brent Venables needs to leave the nest of Clemson and return to Oklahoma and bring those boys, or take those boys to the SEC in a few years, but get control of that defense. Where I thought Alex Grinch could be the answer, Alex Grinch had some moments, but to me, he's maybe above average. Brent Venables is as premium as it gets. Even in a down year for Clemson football, I still think they have a top 5 defense. Now, people are going to say, oh, it's the ACC, right? Don't be talking about the ACC like that, man. I'll smack one of you off. The ACC is known for quarterbacks. And if you think about it and look at the landscape right now, he has to go against some very good quarterbacks. Over the next couple of drafts, there will be tons of ACC quarterbacks drafted like Sam Howell, Sam Hartman, Kenny Pickett, Phil Yurkovich, right? They have a bevy of really good quarterbacks. That's what they do in the ACC. So he has to match with some really good quarterback coaches and some really good schemes as well. He just gets the job done. I had a chance to spend an entire day at Clemson on a junior day a few years ago with an elite prospect that I was working with. And that guy is amazing. That whole program is amazing, to be honest with you, but he's an amazing guy if you talk about his charisma, his understanding of the X's and O's, his understanding of how to get the best out of players. And if you're Oklahoma, that's what you need to go to the next level to me, not another Lincoln Riley. Cliff Kingsbury, he's dope, right? He's dope offensive mind. Him and Lincoln Riley pretty much 6 in one hand, half a dozen in the other. I don't see why you would continue on that path knowing that you have not won a playoff game, and the landscape is going to get tougher here in a few years for you. You're going from being the king of the hill to being just another king on a hill with a bunch of kings, and some of those kings are more king than you are. Georgia and Alabama not going anywhere anytime soon. They recruit better than Oklahoma. Oklahoma recruits better than everybody else in the Big 12, but they're going to come into or go into the SEC and it be probably the 4th best recruiting, 3rd or 4th best. Is that going to get the job done there? Right? The landscape is going to get tougher. You're going to have to switch your pitch. Brent Venables is a pitch switcher. The aggressiveness of Alex Grinch's defense is cool, but I think it's more of the personnel. People are not going to want to hear this from that particular footprint. What is it called? The Midlands or something like that? Texas, Oklahoma, that area right there. Love the offensive players that come from there in the high school ranks. I'm not a huge fan of Texas defensive players. If we're talking about line of scrimmage players, I would rather have a team from Georgia, Alabama, Tennessee, South Carolina with those from that particular footprint And that's what your man Brent Venables specializes in. That's not going to stop if you slap a OU emblem on his shirt and he goes around to these schools, right? It's not going to stop. The guy is tried and true. He's on TV all the time acting a complete donkey, right? Acting a complete donkey with all that infectious energy. He can get those type of players there. Then you play a different brand of football to me. Personnel, be damned. Oklahoma does have some really good personnel on defense. I never thought that some of these guys got to the point that I thought they may get to, but maybe that was just a certain level to that. I just think it's just a whole different brand of player in that footprint that I mentioned in the Southeast there. Brent Venables, Oklahoma, I think it's perfect, absolutely perfect if you're going to eventually be in the SEC. So, matter of fact, let's look at this right here. Let's look at some of the players that Venables has gotten over the years here. I'm not sure if this is his entire landscape here, but we'll just look at some of the notable players that he was either the setup or the closer on. And we can see here it's phenomenal, right? Listen, he's only 50 years old. Man, that's crazy. He's only 50. It seems like he will be a lot older than that. I swear I've been hearing about Brent Venables or seeing Brent Venables for like 20 years or something like that. So a guy like Brian Brzee here, he got him out of the DMV, which I hate. Imagine if that guy were at Virginia Tech. I'll rest my case there. I digress. But Brian Brzee, a player like that, he definitely is representative of the type of player that I think could take Oklahoma to the next level. Going back on he was a closer on DeMarco Murray. That's hard. DeMarco Murray was hard. Man, I remember DeMarco Murray when he first came in. It's like he had two different styles. After he got hurt, he seemed, I don't know, I forget. When he first came in, he seemed like he was a smaller cat, scat back type. Then he bloomed up, man. He was a big boy that could carry it and tote the mail, man. Christian Wilkins, another guy, and very much in the mode of a Brian Brzee. Some of these big guys, over 300 pounds that can move, that are athletes. Andrew Booth, another five. These guys are all 5 stars right here. He closed him out in Lawrenceville, Georgia, where I used to live at, and that guy right there is going to be a first-round draft pick after this year, I believe, right there. Trenton Simpson, big middle linebacker, 6'3", probably over 230 pounds now. You can see right here, man, the guy can recruit. These are just all the guys who are in the top 30s right here, right? Austin Box going way back to him in the Oklahoma days. A.J. Terrell, he went out in Atlanta, Georgia to get him. He's working in Roswell, Georgia with Trey Lamar, and Florida with Trayvon Mullen. These guys are all, of course, in the NFL here. Yeah, I got Shaq Smith out of IMG. I think Shaq Smith originally from the DMV area as well. So hopefully he can stay out of the DMV area, please. Mario Goodrich, got him out of Missouri. Cleveland Farrell, he got him out of the DMV right here in Virginia. Same thing with Sheridan Jones. Maskall, I seen him recruit him back in Snellville, Georgia. Joseph Charlton in Georgia. Listen, it's not going to change. I'm telling you this right now. Won't anything change recruiting out of Texas? He can go anywhere he wants now. He is beyond, stay out of Virginia though, he is beyond a footprint. He's a national recognized coach who should be able to go to anywhere to get any defensive player he wants, but especially in Georgia, Alabama, South Carolina, Florida, and places like that. Listen, Eric Stryker, that man was hard. Eric Stryker was a safety at first, came a linebacker. Damn, that boy he could play some defense at Oklahoma. So listen, if it's not him, if he wants to stay in that van out in the back on his step-by-step show, Mark Stoops. Mark Stoops he's a phenomenal coach. I'm not sure why he's still at Kentucky. No disrespect to Kentucky, but I felt like Kentucky would be a launching pad for him to be at more of a blue blood type place. I like what he does at Kentucky. Maybe he's just one of these guys that'll stay regionally like a Frank Beamer or something like that forever, and it be what it is. But Oklahoma, right? And you can't say that he's living off his brother's names or anything like that. He ain't even working with the dude ever. I don't remember them working together. So Mark Stoops make his own name, man. He could go, maybe he wouldn't want to go back and have to live up to Bob Stoops' name, but you talk about a great defensive player and a guy who is able to really get the most out of edge players and linebackers in general, Mark Stoops is that guy. So I want to know what you guys think, man. You guys are probably still on that Cliff Kingsbury type stuff, right? That man offense softer than a toddler's ass, man. Shouts to Cass for that metaphor there. But I think it's time for Oklahoma to get down and dirty, and that's one of the teams that I think that could absolutely flip that type of style and can definitely become a Georgia-type team. It has the resources like you wouldn't believe, and it has that history. Man, what more could you ask for right there? So let me know which direction you guys are thinking about with Oklahoma. What do you think about Brent Venables first and foremost? And then, of course, Mark Stoops after him. Or if you guys want to do the same old, think you're going to Mike Leach your ass into the SEC and then not work out, and then you be looking extra goofy. And then you have teams pass you like Ole Miss and teams like that aren't going anywhere either if Lane Kiffin is there. So better be thinking about the future on that front there. But the immediate present, I think Brent Venables can make a great difference at Oklahoma starting next season. The offense will still be good. You know, depending on who you bring in, you would have to think that the quarterback, Caleb Williams, who's a complete animal, would stay there. So probably more apt to stay with the Cliff Kingsbury. I do understand that. But Brent Venables, I think, is a very convincing guy. And, of course, you can find plenty of good quarterback coaches and play callers in this day and age, at least. All right? So let me know. All right? It's your boy Murph, the Underground King. Salute to Oklahoma. I can't wait to see how this plays out. Can't wait to see how it plays out for my Virginia Tech Hokies as well. So we shall see. But all right, y'all. Salute.
What more can I say?
Top Billin.